Hey guys, it's Audra and welcome back to my channel. I am here today with my first book tag of the year. I'm going to try my best to do one every other week. I know I can't do one every week, so I'm trying to be more realistic. And of course, let's kick it off with the New Year's resolution book tag. Question number one is an author you would like to read that you've never read from before. And I'm not really the norm here on BookTube. I'm not too big into fantasy, but I'm hoping to change that, so don't click away yet. I would like to still read some of the popular books that have been talked about a lot here on BookTube. So the first one to kind of go in this category would be books by Cassandra Clare. City of Bones is one I've never read. I'm hoping to join Emma Books in her reread for the year and see if I like these, as well as a new book by Sarah J. Maas, The Court of Thorns and Roses. That is a mouthful, but I think I might enjoy this one since it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast from what I've heard. So I want to read some of hers, even though they're also very long. And the last one would be something by Maggie Stiefvater, and this is The Raven Cycle, The Raven Boy. So these are all three books that aren't in my normal wheelhouse, but I want to give a shot. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below, which one I should start with, which series, if these are the ones that you would start with by these authors, if you would check out something else first, let me know. Moving on to the second question, is a book you'd like to read? And at this point in the year, it's everything, but I chose three contemporaries to share. Far From the Tree is super hyped and definitely would be something I would enjoy with the adoption, foster care, all that kind of stuff going on in here. I personally have a brother that was adopted through foster care, and my family is very passionate about that. So this screams volumes to me to start right now. As well as being hyped on BookTube would be Radio Silence and Dress Codes for Small Towns. I have a feeling this is going to be like my hometown where I currently live to a T. So these three are the first contemporaries I would like to read this year. Number three is a classic you'd like to read. These are definitely not my favorites, so I had a hard time picking one out. But I'm going to go with one I've seen listed before as a classic, which is A Prayer for Owen Meany. This is a chunky little book, but it is basically the story of Simon Birch, and I love that movie, and I just want to give this a go. It was written in 1989, so it's a year younger than me, so I guess that makes me a classic antique too, but I'm counting this because I can't think of any other classics I really want to spend my time on at this point. So number four is a book that you would like to reread. Now, I'm going to be pulling from a jar every month to pick one reread that is my favorite because it's something that I don't ever do and I want to become better at. And so I'm going to reread a book. But the top of my list is obviously my favorite book. This is Sarah's Key by Tatiana de Rosne. And this book is my favorite. I adore it. This got me really deep into the World War II, Holocaust fiction, as well as books that are connecting the historical with the present day and the different storylines and how everybody throughout the course of time is connected with one another. I love those kind of books. That's what set this in motion. As with all of my rereads, I am nervous that I may not like them anymore, but we shall see. I will leave my 2018 goals down below for you to check out to kind of know how those jars work, but this is one that's in the jar and it's my very favorite book. Number five is a book that you've had for ages and want to read. I have a lot of books that I've had for far too long, so I'm just going to go with Jodi Picoult Lone Wolf. So this book came out in 2012, and I had it signed on a book tour she was doing then. See it right there. She's one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and say she's my favorite. But I have not read this, which is weird because I was like all up in the hype and I never finished it. And so I need to give this a read this year and get it off my TBR shelf and onto my favorite shelf, hopefully. Number six is a big book you'd like to read. Once again, I know I'm behind in reading Stephen King because I have never read any of his work. And this one I've had for a long time. It's called The Stand. It's over 1,000 pages. So this is the biggest book I own. It is kind of a dystopian, end of the world type situation going on in this book. And I think I will enjoy it if I can get through it. And like I said, I've never read anything by him before, so I would love to see the craft and the writing style that everybody keeps talking about. I think this might be the edge that I could get into his books with. because I'm not the biggest horror fan at all, but this seems a little bit different. So, big book. Here you go. Number 7 is an author you previously read and you want to read more of, and I have 2 brand spanking new books from the library that just came out that I would like to read. I have read the first of this and the first 2 of this series. I would love to read more Neil Shusterman. I read his first book of the Unwind series and adored it, and I've read Scythe, I think is how you say it, and I want to read more of his work because he's a fantastic writer. And then Shauna Maguire, I would love to read some books that are outside of her Wayward children's series just so I can get a better grasp of who she is as an author. So those are the ones I would like to read more of. Number 8 is a book that you got for Christmas and would like to read. I didn't get any books for Christmas, which is totally fine. I buy books for myself, so I bought Near Christmas, The Diviners by Libba Bray, and this also counts for the next one, which is a book series that you would like to start and finish. I've already started this. I'm also listening to the audiobook, which is fantastic. And I am really, really enjoying this. This falls in like the paranormal historical fiction realm, which isn't something that I would normally put together, but I can tell I'm going to want to read to the end. I don't think that the series is completely over. I know there's 3 books and then there may be a 4th one coming soon. And so I would love to get deep into this series because it's something that I am normally not into. And number 10 is a series that you have previously started and would like to finish. And like I said in my 2018 goals, I would love to finish the Kate Burkholder series by Linda Costello. These are just Amish murder mysteries and I can't help but like them. I believe there are 10 total and I have read up to number 5. There are also now novellas that go in between all of them. So I just need to get caught up. I think I can do it, but we shall see. Number 11 is, do you set reading goals and how many books are you going to read this year? Now, last year I read 103. I finally met my 100 mark, and I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. I just want to read really good books. However, I do have a goal of reading 4 or 5 certain kind of books a month. I have books that are going to be rereads. I have a book every month that'll be a recommendation, and I have a book off of my TBR shelf. I also want to read a professional book for work. So if I do read 1 of every 4 of those kind of books each month, that'll put me at 48 books, and I just rounded it up to 50 to be a nice number. I know I'm going to read more of those because I'm going to read books outside of those categories because new books are coming out, and I'm a feelings reader. Like I want to read what I want to read when I want to read it. So really the number of books I read this year has not been set truly, but I want to take the pressure off of getting to 100 because I've done it, and let's move on. And the 12th and final question is any other reading goals? And once again, you can check out the video down below if you would like to. But in short, I would just like to be more present in the BookTube community and make connections with other readers, read things that aren't inside my normal realm, and hopefully broaden my horizons, especially with the fantasy genre itself, as well as own voices books. The other goal that I have that I haven't talked about before would be to not have to rely so much on audiobooks this year. Because I was going through chemo in 2017, my brain sucks. It still sucks. I love audiobooks. It allowed me to stay on top of my reading last year as I was going through chemo, and it continues to do that as I'm still struggling with chemo brain. But I need to work on getting those skills back with memory, and I can track better on the pages. My vision is getting back to normal, and so I need to kind of wean myself off of audiobooks and be more selective in those. But the main thing is just to read books that I love, books that I can't stop talking about, that leave a lasting impression, and I can share with my family and friends in my real life, but also share with my friends here on BookTube. And if you have books that you think I need to check out, please leave them in a comment down below. I would love to talk books with you, but until next time, bye guys!